Okay. Big breath. Let's talk about what just happened.
I remember thinking, holy shit, like, this is crazy.
I read the script and I thought to myself, this might be impossible. There must be a new draft coming out where it's all shaved down. Not only did that never happen, it only grew. Every single person in every department was tested to the limits. And I kept telling myself in my head, if we do this right, this will be some legendary television.
This episode starts with the hint of an approaching storm. Bad weather comes in lots of forms, and we're gonna be dealing with bad weather throughout this season.
It was crazy shooting on that mountain and in a real blizzard. It's also something that can inform you so much in the playing of it.
Run! That way!
When little is left to the imagination, it just really helps just be in the world.
If you see flares, if you hear bells, stop what you're doing and follow the plan.
In the game, we talk about how Jackson at times has been under different attacks.
Jackson, hold!
We thought we had an opportunity to create even more of a sense of vulnerability, that it wasn't simply Joel or Ellie or Dina who was in trouble. Everyone was in trouble.
During the invasion of Jackson, we are overwhelmed by this horde of monsters. And then as you have to encounter these stronger and stronger foes, there's an escalation in your own firepower.
Our bloater for this season is bigger and badder, and to have a one-on-one fight with Tommy with a flamethrower, I mean, those are just epic things that we dream of.
The great thing about television and filmmaking, and why so many of us work in very unpleasant conditions, is the teamwork. When I heard that Kaitlyn had been cast as Abby, that was just such an exciting piece of casting to me, and again, the opportunity to work with an actor who I have such admiration for.
Don't go in there.
Stop it!
I'm telling you, go back. No!
Meeting Kaitlyn was amazing, and it's very ironic that something so violent and tragic between its characters can immediately bond you to the actor.
I've always loved her. I loved everything she's been in, and it just felt like a great fit. And it felt like, oh, this will be a good counterpoint to Ellie in the story.
When we talk about casting main characters, what you're really looking for is somebody that reflects back at you naturally what you know you need to see. So we got very excited about this idea, and we sat down and met Kaitlyn, and she got excited too. And here's a chance to play not a villain, but an anti-hero. She is a force of nature. She will not be stopped. And if that reminds you of somebody else in our story, another young woman, well, yeah, that's Ellie too. And now we begin to see how this is all gonna unfold.
Amy, come back. Amy.
And before you know it, the weather's deteriorating, the tension's rising, and you can just feel this pan starting to boil over. She takes a risk and she tries to get down to intercept two patrol people, and that takes her down into this gully, and we are off on this extraordinary ride.
The cracks in the foundation have already begun to appear, and now in comes these people from somewhere else, and in comes rolling in a storm, and then, as it turns out, under the snow, there's something even worse.
The scene in which Abby comes down the mountain and then gets attacked by the infected, and the fence starts collapsing. But she has to crawl through that to the end where Joel finds her. That was all done up at Whistler in a snowstorm, and that was really difficult.
Being chased by the infected was really sort of surreal, honestly. The makeup and costumes, everything, it looks so real and it feels so real that when they actually call action, it's like very scary.
Our first sit-down conversations we had with Neil and Craig were about changing the look of some of the characters, such as the infected, so we could portray them in a very cold, frostbitten way.
From the minute that Abby encounters infected, it doesn't stop for us. We have to intermix real stunts, practical effects with visual effects. I think that's the best use of visual effects. That's what we're here for, is to really fully immerse the audience into the story we're trying to tell.
Some of the inspiration for the second game was, how do we put the player in that state of righteousness or hate or whatever label you want to put on it? And the decision felt very clear to me, is like, we have to kill someone we really care about.
When we get to the moment where Abby does what she does, it was as hard for us to write and to shoot as it was, I think, probably for a lot of people to watch.
Joel, get up.
End it.
Joel, get up. Please.
But this story is about how we all deal with those moments, which do confront us in life. We all think, I could deal with this much stuff. And then life says, and then we find out what we can put up with.
Get up.
I mean, I knew that Joel was gonna die right from season 1, but reading it in the script, I knew that it was coming as I was reading the episode, and I was dreading getting to that bit, and I cried. Actually sobbed my little heart out. It's the first time I've ever cried from reading a piece of writing.
I have nothing but respect for the level of investment that people have in a video game or a television show or movie or book. I experience it myself, and I've flung books across the room because its impact is so profound on me and experiencing a story. And I think that if it is incredibly painful for people, that's obviously a brilliant achievement of the storytelling.
Getting to do that opposite Pedro was just an actor's dream. I felt really taken care of working with him because it is so heavy, it's so loaded.
As soon as I put the script down, I was exponentially more terrified of delivering that moment than anything in the battle.
It sort of took on a whole other life and energy just because it sort of digs the knife in a little bit deeper.
No.
Once Joel dies, we wanted to sort of take a breath, and we wanted to feel the space for the first time and the loneliness and the emptiness. We had to crane for one shot because so much of it is just this intimate exchange between people.
Quite early on, in early production meetings with Craig, he said, this is the most important makeup of the season. Don't screw it up. So the pressure was on. So we started with a 3D scan of Pedro, and it was great because I knew I was going to be sculpting this makeup which was going to close his left eye. The prosthetics would have an upper and lower eyelid. Without that technology, that would have been quite hard to gauge before. That was quite a tense moment, hoping that that was all going to come together and work.
Walking around, like the visual representation of your last breaths, it was really interesting to step into a room and see, the reaction in people's faces. And it wasn't one of revulsion, it was heartbreak.
I think some viewers will start seeing some parallels between Abby and Ellie. Abby has lost her dad, and now inadvertently, Abby has created those same nightmares for another character. This event will change all the characters we know forever from this point on. Now, this person that's capable of such violence, this impulsive character, what's going to happen to them next?